Today I'm going to be building myself a mallet. I'm going to be building it out of some bloodwood and also some maple. Now what I need to do is go ahead and plane these down. This is actually 5/4, but it's really an inch and an eighth. But I still need to plane it down because it's pretty rough. And the same thing with this, I still need to plane it down. So I got these two pieces cut. This is going to make up the handle, and this is going to make up part of the hammerhead. Now I need to plane these edges. I'm going to plane and then rip them down. But both of these are a rough edge, so I'm just going to use my moccasin vise. Now what I'm going to do is take some paste wax and I'm going to wax the bottom of this. This is a Nelson 5.5 jack plane. You can also use this as a joiner as long as the piece of wood's not too long. Now I'm going to attach these two pieces to the handle with biscuits. So I'm just going to find the center of it. And also I'm going to add a little decoration piece in through here. I'm going to use a scroll saw to cut this out. Now I'm just taking my scraper and I'm going to knock off some of these saw marks. Okay, so I got them all clamped up. I'm going to leave them dry for about 3 or 4 hours. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and work on the sides of the mallet, which is what the Bloodwood is for. Okay, so I just put a chamfer on the handles and I'm getting ready to attach the side pieces on here, and I'm going to just glue them on there. Once I get that done, I'm going to go ahead and scrape this down and start sanding this handle to be a little bit more rounder. So I might have to start out with something like maybe 200 or 220 to go on up maybe to 2000. I don't know yet, so we'll just see. Next, I'm just getting ready to glue up the sides here. So I got these all glued up. I'm going to let them dry overnight. Once I come back out here and I go ahead and take the clamps off of it, I'm still going to router an edge on these base pieces right here. It's going to be a cove, and then I'm going to use my scraper to clean it all up. And well, I went ahead and finished the one. So what I'm going to do is work on the second one and show you some things that I did that I used to finish this one. This one came out as smooth as glass. I'm really satisfied with the finish. It's a finish that I've used a few times before. I'm well satisfied with it. These things look so great, I hate to even use them. But what I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to start working on the top here, and I'm going to take my low angle plane and start planing at the very top of this. So I tried planing at the top of this with my number 5.5 jack plane, but the Bloodwood just really didn't plane very well with it, so I had to switch to a low angle plane in order to get the finish to come out right. Because I had a lot of tear outs, so to avoid the tear out, I had to go with a low angled plane. So I went ahead and got the top all done. That didn't take very long, and I also cut the angles at the miter saw. What I'm going to do next is take the router and put the chamfer on the edges. And I also still need to cut an angle down here on the very end, like I did on this. This actually has 2 angles. The main one, long one here, goes this. I believe it's a 5-degree angle, I can't remember. And then this also has a little bit of an angle, which I think is the same 5-degree. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there now. So now my next step is I'm going to take my scraper and start scraping the material away from off of here to remove any scratches or dents or anything like that. So now all I got is left is the sides. So I'm going to scrape them down and then do what I did on the other parts, and that is sand it with 400, 220 if I have to, 400, and then 2000. So I got it all sanded, and this thing is smooth. So I'm gonna wipe it down, then I'm gonna put a coat, maybe 2 coats of paste wax on it. And then I'm gonna use some varnish to seal it up with. And I'm just gonna use a old t-shirt I cut up to apply the wax. So I'm going to come back out in a couple of hours and I'll apply another coat of the paste wax. Probably let that set for a couple of hours and I'll start applying the finish. So I've applied the second coat of my wax. Let it set for a couple hours or whatever. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply the finish, which is, this is a linseed oil varnish. And I'm going to apply it to one side. I'll come back, wipe it off. I'll come back after about an hour, almost to 2 hours in between there, and wipe the excess off, let that dry, and then I'll do the other side. And then I'm going to apply another coat doing the same technique. If I was to go ahead and do one side and lay it back down, it's just going to, the finish isn't going to come out right. So all I do is I take it, dip it in there. Just make sure I got good coverage. I'm just using an old t-shirt that I've got cut up to apply it. This is how I did the other one. Then when you wipe it on, you want to make sure that you wipe it on pretty good. You don't want to have any runs or anything like that. So don't apply it too excessively. Well, I finally got the mallets all done. I only applied 2 coats of that tried and true finish, which turned out really great. These things are just super smooth, I mean very slick. Now these are heavier than what I thought. The Bloodwood is really dense and heavy anyways, but these things weigh 2.6 pounds each. I could not believe the weight of them. I was hoping that they'd only be like a 1.5, but I guess I'll have to design some other ones and make some new ones later on down the road that are about in the range of 1.5. Now I hate to even begin to use these. They look so good. So I'll probably keep one and have the other one as a showpiece, I guess. So that ends this episode. So until next time, I'm Edward Short, the Hoosier Craftsman.